For this trick, I'm going to make a secret prediction of the future. So all I'm going to do is pull out a random card. Let's say this one over here. This will hopefully be relevant to us a little bit later on. However, right now, I just want the spectator to name any playing card in a deck, completely free choice, any value, any suit, completely free choice. Let's say they name the 3 of diamonds. Interesting choice. Now, I will be honest, there is one playing card in particular that I knew for a fact you would never name. And let me just see where it is in the deck. But this card right here, I knew that you would never name this particular card. You probably changed your mind a couple of times while you were picking a card, but this card, the Joker, was probably one that didn't cross your mind because, it doesn't really have a color or a suit. But still, this is technically a viable option because it is a playing card in the deck. However, this is completely irrelevant because I just wanted to prove that you could have genuinely chosen any card. However, I did make a little prediction right here on the table since the beginning of the trick, and I think you'd be surprised to find that it is actually the card that you freely named the 3 of diamonds. To do this trick, you will need 2 jokers that are identical jokers, so they have to look exactly the same for this to work. One of them will be placed in the middle of the deck and the other one will be left on top. To start the trick, you can shuffle the cards and say you're going to pull a secret prediction out of the middle of the deck. All you're going to do is take out the joker that is shuffled in the middle of the deck. So take this joker and place it down as your secret prediction. The other joker will be left on top of the deck. At this point, the spectator can name any card in the deck. Truly doesn't matter. Let's say they name the 7 of clubs. Now what you're going to do is you're going to be looking for that 7 of clubs, the card that they just named. And all you're going to do is take this card and move it to the top and say, I think that there's no way that you would have thought of this card, and now you're going to get a break on that top card and perform a double lift showing the joker and say, now obviously you could have thought of the joker, but it probably didn't cross your mind because it doesn't have a color or a suit. This is all misdirection, but it is also leading up to the next part of the trick because now you're going to take this double and turn it back over and take the top card, which is supposedly still a joker, and you're going to use this supposed joker to flip over your prediction. However, what you're going to do is do a Mexican turnover, which looks something like this. You're just going to slide this card underneath this card like this. Your thumb will go on top of this card here, and you will essentially slide this back while your fingers will let the bottom card roll off. And it looks like this is the card that was on the table. However, this was the card that was in your hand, and you've just switched the cards around. But because the spectators thought that the joker was in your hand the whole time, the second you flip this back over, it will make sense that this was the card on the table the entire time.